Welcome to this Hurricane Ida update. And I did that, and then it just decided to, there we go, got it back on the screen here. And here it is, just east of Baton Rouge. Looks like Baton Rouge over here. This is the eye. You can still see the eye. It's filled in, but someone can still see it on the radar right there. Still an eye. Looks like Hammond is really getting into the heavy rain now. New Orleans is still getting some rain, but not as much, but it is still falling over the lake north of New Orleans. So this is still going to be an issue for New Orleans with this rainfall here. And you can just see all the tropical feeder bands coming in off the Gulf here. This storm is still very much looks like a hurricane here. Let's go and take a look at the latest infrared satellite, enhanced infrared satellite. And you can still see what looks like a fairly healthy hurricane. It's weakening very, very slowly. And it's the so-called brown ocean effect because most of this part of Louisiana is marshland. It's moist. There's still some energy for the storm. Even though it's over land, it's very moist. It's still got that water, that moisture in the air from the warm water. And you can still see it almost looks like a little more enhancement there over in New Orleans there with the heavy rain there and that last shot there. With the deepening convection, those darker colors, that's deepening convection right there. So this thing is still going. Let's look at another satellite image of Hurricane Ida. I think this is it. Here we go. So here is the other satellite image of Hurricane Ida. This is the visible. This is it making landfall. And you can still see very much intact this hurricane. It's just incredible. Let's get the latest from the National Hurricane Center. Ida is still a 105-mile-an-hour hurricane. I believe that's Category 2. So, latest public advisory, 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Ida turning northward over southeastern Louisiana. Catastrophic storm surge, extreme winds, and flash flooding continue. And there is a lot of there's a lot of flooding going on right now. Not so much in New Orleans proper, but around New Orleans. Location 30.3 north, 90.7 west, 30 miles east-southeast of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 40 miles west-northwest of New Orleans, Louisiana. Maximum sustained winds 105 miles an hour. Movement north-northwest, making that turn more to the north. Just 9 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 953 millibars, 28.15 inches. So the rapid weakening is expected to occur, but Ida is expected to remain a hurricane for at least several more hours. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 35 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 140 miles from the center. A sustained wind of 64 miles an hour and a wind gust of 90 were reported at the New Orleans International Airport. So the next thing that we have to get to is the power situation, and this is the statement from Entergy. This is what wound up happening in New Orleans. So it says right here, Ida knocks out transmission sources in New Orleans. All right, so as a result of Hurricane Ida's catastrophic intensity, all 8 transmission lines that deliver power into the New Orleans area are currently out of service. When this occurred, it caused a load imbalance in the area and resulted in generation in the area coming offline. That's what I explained to you, a cascading failure. We are working to assess damage and identify a path forward to restore power to those who can take it in the area. We have provided backup generation to the New Orleans Sewerage and Water Board. Power will not be restored this evening, but we will continue to work to remedy. So, as I explained to you before, we've seen all the transmission lines into New Orleans. There's 8 of them, all down, and has caused the power to completely go out in the city and surrounding area. I mean, if you look at this, you'll see here, and we'll refresh this again, because more of these areas around Baton Rouge are now starting to turn dark, as Baton Rouge is starting to lose power as well. But you can see this whole area pretty much in a complete blackout. There's not a single the only power that you're seeing here is from generators. That's the only power you're seeing, even though these numbers aren't complete total. And you go to Orleans, it is a complete blackout in Orleans Parish and Jefferson and all these other parishes. There is no electricity at all in this entire area. The transmission system is definitely out of service, and who knows when it will be back at this point. So let's go to the. Let's see if we can get the weather map so we can take a look at some of the current observations that are going on right now. Let's see what we got. We got a south wind now of gusting up to 54. So the winds have shifted to the south, but look over here. Port of Louisiana Executive Airport, still wind gusting up to 71 miles an hour. A lot of these are providing incomplete data. There are a lot of stations here that seem to be offline, so we may not be getting complete data, but I could see winds gusting all the way up, even over here, 38 miles an hour as far as new roads. So the winds are now stretching to the north, and still 54 mile an hour wind gust at Slidell. 66, is that right? 66 mile an hour wind gust at Shell Beach, southeast of 51, gusting to 66. And this is causing a lot of storm surge. So the concern is that this is still pushing water into Lake Pontchartrain, which could overtop levees. There are some reports now coming in of some levees failing. And then there's also storm surge flooding in parts of Mississippi as well, and people needing to be rescued. So this is all turning into a very bad situation. And New Orleans not out of the woods yet. Because, again, power lines have failed. Oh, look at this, a 73 mile an hour wind gust now at, maybe I already read that already, at this airport right here. But these are the kind of winds that you have, and a lot of these power transmission structures are not designed to handle winds this strong. And even if the structure stands, the wires could get blown off. Debris could blow into a wire, causing it to trip out. Any number of things, and we just don't know when the power is going to come back for New Orleans. A lot of people think, oh, we're in the city, the wires are underground, but no, as I showed you, there is an above-ground transmission system. And we look at the models on this storm, so we're going to go ahead and look at the models, and we'll show you what's going to happen here with this storm here. We'll go to the south central U.S. Actually, maybe southeast is probably better. Use the southeastern United States. So we'll look at the models. I know we didn't do this in the other update, just to show you the GFS and show you how long it's going to take for the winds to wind down. So it's going to go into Mississippi. It's still going to have some wind to it. This is through tomorrow. And then parts of Alabama. And then Tennessee, this is when you start getting the rain. The winds start decoupling by Tuesday, but the rain will continue. And we're going to have to watch for that impact of rain in our area Wednesday. And if we, again, go to the total rainfall accumulation here, you'll see that there's still more rain that's going to be falling. And that heavy rain, over 5 inches all the way up into Tennessee and maybe Kentucky, West Virginia perhaps. This is all going to continue, but you can still see that yellow right around just north of from New Orleans and north. That could be another 5 to 10 inches of rain, and that's what we're concerned about. And that's going to go into parts of Mississippi as well, and that's going to help flood the river. And it's all connected. The river, Lake Pontchartrain, all that stuff is connected. Look at the winds. And you see the winds. The winds will decouple once it gets inland. We'll start seeing those winds start decoupling, I think, by later tomorrow afternoon. It'll just be a tropical storm. But I still think the power outage potential is going to be all throughout into Mississippi, and then maybe a little less of a power outage potential once it moves north of there. But still a power outage potential nonetheless. And if we look at the impacts, we'll go to the eastern U.S. and we will show you the rainfall, the total accumulated precip, and you'll see the impacts from the rain are going to stretch into our area, and this could bring us quite a bit of rain. And that bit of rain would occur for our area. I'll get back into this a little bit here. That rain would occur Wednesday night into Thursday, and this could cause some pretty major flooding in our area. I mean, if we look at the 24-hour accumulated precip, you'll see here another 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches of rain in our area, with the ground already saturated. It is going to be a real problem. When this gets more into the range of the models, we'll know a little more about how much rain we're going to get. But the track of the moisture looks right now, the GFS is taking it right over our area, which means more heavy rain, more flooding for areas on Long Island, and that's going to be the impact for us. Let me go to windy.com. And we'll just, again, track the winds on this here. And I'm going to go to we'll use the GFS because this has been such a good model to us. And we'll track the wind potential. And you'll see that wind still continuing to Mississippi. You're going to still see gusts up to 42 even into tomorrow afternoon. And then when we take this in a little more, we're still seeing wind gusts. All right, 40 miles an hour. All right, it's not until Tuesday that we start seeing those winds really decouple. So this storm is going to take its time unwinding, and while it's unwinding, it's going to be causing more power outages. Not to the degree that you're seeing in southern Louisiana, but there's still going to be significant power outage impacts in this area here. Let me go to the power outage U.S. map, and you'll see what I mean, because Mississippi has already got 43,000 people without power, mostly in the southern part of the state here, and there's a large outage here in Calhoun. That's only 14 out of 40, but I guess it's only 40 customers in a whole county. That's quite a small county, but you can see some of these areas like Pearl River, a lot of power outages occurring in Mississippi too. So the storm is not done knocking out power, and again, look at that, over 1 million people now without power in Louisiana. And that number is going to climb. So this could be the worst power outage event in the history of the state of Louisiana. As all the transmission lines have been knocked out into New Orleans. Every single one of them is out. It is down. And there's no... again, this is the radar here. There's no... I mean, this hit. Let's see if we can get some storm reports and wind gust reports from the New Orleans Weather Service. I'm just curious if we can do that. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, but we might be able to let's see if we can get some storm reports already and see what has happened. Oh, lakefront is down, but let's see if we can get the New Orleans office here and see if they have any wind gust reports here. Maybe they posted them up on Twitter. Let's see if they posted them up and see if there are any out here. So the Amite River now reached the second highest level, so still climbing. We still got these rivers going. Here's some footage from Houma, Louisiana, showing the raging winds. A bridge was struck by a ship and is currently out. They've never seen this much water. Flash flood emergency in Jean Lafayette, Bataria Lafayette. So this is still not over. Special marine warnings are in effect. You still have these feeder bands coming through. Tornado warnings for Mississippi. All Tammany utilities under boil water advisory. Here is a picture of a roof being blown off. Wow. That is crazy. So there's the roof getting blown off right there. That is pretty crazy right there. Home destroyed. Significant flooding in LaPlace. Freener landing engaged by hurricane chaser. The rain continues to fall. Flash flood emergency in place. So this is some of the flooding here that they're going through right now. Jefferson Parish is losing $250,000 of gallons of water per hour, and some areas have no water pressure. So Jefferson Parish is having water issues here. Here's some flooding. And it's just a major disaster that is ongoing here. Here's some damage in Metairie. It's dark out. New Orleans has no power. Water coming in from Lake Pontchartrain. So this is going to be a concern here, that we will see this flood still occur in New Orleans, especially without power. This is very concerning, and still I'm very, very concerned about it. TV station had to evacuate too, forced to leave control room doing live coverage because the ceiling paled away. And they are at the gallery at Metairie. So I guess that's where their studio is. So this is just all hell breaking loose. A building, look at this building, got knocked down. Of course, Twitter wants to be a pain in the neck. Let's see. I think if I open link a new tab, it'll let me look at it. Let's see. There you go. So that is horrible right there. That's a historic building that came down there. So that's some of the. Let's see if we can get some. Every weather site is different as far as the weather service site goes. To get let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get some storm reports. Do they have storm reports here? They have public information statement and they have storm. Let's try public information statement, and let's see if we can get. Nope, nothing there. I'd like to see some wind gust reports if that's possible, but we may not have that. Okay, well, we do have some here. Let's see. 56 mile an hour wind gusts. Let's see, multiple trees down. Because there have been some wind gusts I heard on the Weather Channel, up over 150 miles an hour. Here we go. This is the one. This is where it made landfall. Port FOURCHON. SEACOR Eagle instrument reported a sustained wind of 149 miles an hour with a gust of 172. That is incredible. This occurred as Hurricane Ida made landfall. So that's the gust I wanted to read for you, because this storm is going to go down in the record books right there with Katrina and so many others as a devastating storm, and the name Ida will most certainly be retired. But again, no power in New Orleans, and who knows when it's going to come back with the transmission system down. All the transmission lines into New Orleans have been possibly destroyed, and we'll have to see if it's just a simple of structure coming down or just a short or a fault on a wire from debris. But they're all tripped out, and the electric company, they can't do anything until the storm is over. Tomorrow, they're going to go out there and going to look and see the damage, and I'll try to show you the pictures, of course. But this will be tonight's final update on Hurricane Ida. It's not done yet. It does continue, and we continue to pray for the people in New Orleans to make it through this just horrific natural disaster.